Hi, I'm Tommy. I'm going to talk a little bit today about some of the challenges that video game designers face when trying to develop content specifically for the Chinese market, when trying to enter that market. Some of the games that they've been able to create over the last several decades as the online gaming industry has ballooned. Some of the games that they've created don't meet the legal requirements, the cultural requirements that the Chinese government has set up. And so there's a lot that goes into this. There's a game now that's existed for a few years called Plague Inc. In it, the player creates a pathogen, can give it different traits, different characteristics, and the goal of it is to try to mutate it and give it the capability to infect the entire world. It's a silly game. It's a little morbid, especially in the light of everything that's going on today. So back in late February, the Cyberspace Administration of China determined that that game had illegal content, and they banned that game for all of China. It was a mobile app. It's a PC game. You can get it on Android, Apple, all those types of things. And now that it's banned across the country, it's just one of the instances of things like that happening. And for one reason, they most likely, I don't think they've said it outright, but most likely that's in connection to the outbreak of coronavirus that's now going all over the world. This was in late February, and obviously the virus kind of has its roots in Wuhan, China. So I understand that there's some issues with why they wouldn't want that to go. A big part of what they approve, it kind of has to support their nationalistic tendencies, has to support the country. Another game that has been banned, or that was once banned, was a game called Football Manager, the 2005 edition. In it, players were managers of a soccer team. I don't think you played it as much as a simulation like Madden football or something like that, but you managed the team. You managed the aspects of signing players, who to play, how to practice, how to manage the team's finances, and those types of things. More of a simulation game. The Chinese government banned that game because it recognized Taiwan, Taipei, and Hong Kong as independent countries. And so that was, again, not acceptable to them. So until the company that produced that game issued an update in which it no longer recognized those countries, I think it excluded them completely, that game was banned. So that was one of the things they had to contend with. Once they made that change to the game to comply with those Chinese regulations, that game was able to come back and then be played in China. And another one, kind of a more popular game, a little bit more recently than 2005, is a game called Battlefield 4. It's a war simulation type game, and again, part of it is the enemy is the Chinese army, and so that was another time where they believed that it made China look bad. It didn't portray them in the way they wanted to be portrayed. They said it discredited the national image of China. And so they banned that game as well. They went as far as also saying that it threatened the national security of China. It's just an interesting thing that these designers have to contend with, and any company has to contend with when entering that market, is the nationalistic agenda of the Chinese government, and they will not approve anything that doesn't meet their standard of sort of glorifying that country and government and culture.